So today we've got the Ascona tap. It's a Franke and it's dripping. The tap itself is only 2 years old. It's the quarter turn ceramic cartridges within the tap. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to, it's the cold water feed that's dripping, so I'm hoping I'm going to be able to take the cold water feed cartridge out and clean it up. We're not in a really hard water area, but it might have a bit of lime scale in there, it might be a little bit dirty. If I can take it apart, clean up the ceramics and stick it back together again, hopefully it's going to be okay. Cartridges are about 20 quid and they're not going to be worn out because the tap's only 2 years old. It's not very old at all. We'll give it a clean, stick it back together again and hopefully cure the problem. First things first, we need to just turn off the cold water feed. It's easy for me just to switch off the stopcock going into the kitchen itself. So I'll just give that a... So I've turned off the isolator valve. We've drained down, there's nothing left in there now. So, magic, we can now start to take the tap to bits. Okay, and on the back of the tap handle, there's a tiny little hole there, which is a T8 Torx bit. So if we stick that in there, undo that. Which now reveals the cartridge assembly. So now to remove the cartridge assembly, we just grab hold of that and turn it. Oh, she's tight. Oh, it's really tight. I was going to get a spanner on it. Okay, second attempt. We've got a 12mm spanner. Jesus. Holy smoke, that is so tight. Okay, let's go with the spanner. Released a bit of water. At least we cracked it off though. Let's come out of the hot water. Alright, so now. Cool, I can't believe how tight that was. And that's just the water coming out the neck of the tap and dribbling down. Okay, now we're looking in here, I can see there's a few bits of lime scale knocking about. We've got the cartridge there. Anyway, let's whip it to bits and see what's going on. Okay, so here we have the little cartridge valve, and what we're going to do is pop out the little circle up on the end, pull the rubber ring out, and then the hose shaft should push through the valve, which will then reveal all his ceramics inside. So let's give that a bash. Right, so first of all, let's pop out the little silicone ring on the end. lost it down the sink, didn't I? Okay, so just push that through now. And she's coming out. Okay, so first bit then is the ring and that little separator. I should put that there. So that's the first bit, which is leaving us with this, which is a little ceramic with two little noggins on each side. So again, you can see we've got signs of lime scale on there. You can see where the valve's going with that. It's the lime scale inside there as well. So it's looking good that I should be able to put some lime scale remover in here and clean this up. So that's that little fella there. That's the first face, that's the second face. So we're going to get a bit of lime scale remover, give them all a clean, pop it back together again, and hopefully that'll be that. So I'm using the, I'll show you what it is, multi-purpose descaler. This was bought from Amazon, 5 litres, and it was 15 quid, but it's going to last a lifetime. So I've cleaned the coffee machine with it and all sorts. So I'll stick a bit of that in there. It's great for descaling your toilet and all sorts. It's wicked stuff. So I've dropped these little shims into the descaler. And we'll also give that a dousing as well. So it's all in there. Get it down so it's all submerged. That'll be good. So we'll just tip it on its end like that, and then we'll leave that to do its thing. I'll leave that for half an hour or so just to clean that off. And I'm going to just put a bit of this in the end of the tap as well, just where this is all going to fit. If I get some of that in there, then if there's any lime scale in there as well, it will dissolve that as well. Fantastic. Okay, now for reassembly. So here's the components we've got. They've all been cleaned in the descaler. Just took them out. Okay, so important things to note is on the way back in, on rebuilding, the first piece, obviously the one with the long indent on it, is going to fit into the indent within the cartridge. The second piece has got a little dot on the front. That faces outwards. So let's go with this and see if we can't get it all back together again. First piece is in there. There we go, that's dropped down onto its locating pin. second piece, now you've got the two lugs either side there, so that's going in like that. And last but not least is the valve with the valve I'm on about, the silicone seal. Let's just make sure I get that in nicely there. And now we press all that down and stick the, I'm going to pop the clip back on. Just rotate it while I press it in. Make sure it's all going back in nicely. So if I push down on that, on there, I should now be able to get that clip, the circlip back on there like that. Like that, there we go. So there we have it all back together again. I'll try sticking that on there just to see if we can turn it. And there we go, we have it turning as we want it. So let's stick that back in there. Stick that back in the tap and see if it leaks. Okay, so here we go for reinstallation. I'll just give that a quick wipe again around the side there. I'll slide the valve in and start to twist it back in again. Gas 12mm spanner again. I'm not going to wallop it up like how tight it was before. Okay, so let's just level these up now. So off position is where it is there, so now I want that pointing upwards. Slide it down. Now I should be able to put the grub screw back in. Do you know what though, before I do that I think I'm going to try it and see what happens. So I'll turn the water back on. Okay, so we turn the water back on again. Let's go for the tap, expecting a few blasts of air. A lot of air. That's the hot water feed to start with. Nice. And the cold water one. Yeah, baby. I'm looking for drips. I think we've sorted it. What a repair that is. Beautiful. So I'll just do the grub screw back up in the tap, and obviously we're going to have to turn it on now with water pouring out, but there you go, that's life. So we'll just do that back up again. Nip it up. Job in it. Job's a good one. Thanks for watching. That saved me 20 quid. And a plumber.